Hey Poco fans, this is Manmohan here. I am here with Anuj today for yet another session of AMA. So let's get started. So Anuj, we have quite a lot of questions today and pretty interesting questions to begin with. I think over and over time we are really seeing really good questions coming up.
I mean, I remember the first one which we had 800 questions. Almost about half the questions were X3 and F2. Now I guess these are very complicated questions. I don't know if we'll be able to answer all of them, but yeah,
we'll try. So let's start with the first one. Ayan, his question is, hi Anuj sir and Manmohan sir, I like both of you guys very much. My question is, which smartphone do you use as your primary device as of now? Please pick my question.
Oh, okay. I mean, the whole idea is to use whichever phone we are kind of talking about, what are we launching. If we don't know the phones, then obviously we cannot tell you enough. If we don't use the phones and test the phones, then we can't fix the problems. And a lot of times, our internal teams, so the Poco team, when we are using our phones before our launch, we are able to fix a lot of things in the software.
Yeah. So I think this is a kind of a practice that we have been following from the beginning, that we use the phones ourselves to figure out what the issues are and kind of try to correct it as much as possible. And I think we'll continue that even going forward. Next question, why can't we overclock smartphone processors like PC processors? I think this is a very general question, a pretty interesting question. Vaishnav asked this question.
Yeah. I mean, overclocking on PCs itself is a bit complicated. You need to mostly, I remember the last time I was overclocking my PC, I had a specialized motherboard and I could just go into the BIOS and change the clock multiplier there. And it would go from 2.4 GHz to 3.2 GHz. And it's that easy, except I had to change the heatsink. And it was like a massive heatsink, because even with that big heatsink, when I was overclocking and using it, say, for an extended time of gaming, it would start going up in terms of the temperatures.
Sure.
So largely it is thermals, but also there is a little extra stress because you're pushing the system. It's almost like, why don't I run my car at top speed throughout? So it needs modifications, and those modifications may not, like for example when it comes to heating, the general rule is the bigger the heat sink, even if you're using vapor chamber and all of that, the bigger the area, the better the heat dissipation would be. And on a consumer device like this, there's not enough space.
Absolutely. So I think pretty much you need to have enough empty space to kind of toy around with the components inside, which in a smartphone it's slightly difficult to make that happen.
Mostly you see overclocking on desktop CPUs.
True.
But laptop CPUs,
again,
not so much.
Not so much. Got it. Pretty interesting questions. Right. Next one is from Yogesh. When will Poco phones come to offline stores?
Okay. So we've briefly spoken about this. Again, getting to offline has two aspects to it. One, obviously, you are looking at distribution, logistics, management of those logistics and everything else, which adds cost to it. But more than cost, it also needs a lot of manpower. As a very small team, frankly, we do not have enough people to look at how the retail experience is, how many retailers, how is the Poco shown. Does the person in the store have the right training to be able to tell you about this product?
Absolutely.
So all of that requires a bigger team. We do not have that team right now. Maybe sometime in the future, but no immediate plans.
True. The next question, Anuj, is from Jitendra Devnani. Is Poco X3 really a thick phone? And there was a hype in the market that you can also dumbbell with it. Not really that thick, guys.
So compared to a 4000 or a 5000 mAh, yes, it does add a little bit more width to it, and that's why the corners, because they're smooth, it still becomes very easy to handle.
Yeah.
It's essentially about 220 to 225 grams. If you can dumbbell with that much, then you really need to look at your overall physical strength. On the other hand, the fun fact I was telling Manchu as well, that this is about 7 to 8 grams lighter than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So it's not the heaviest phone in the market by any
standard. Yeah. The next question is from Adil. What is the procedure? What to launch next? What type of planning Poco team does to think and launch a new phone? Pretty interesting question.
No, that is deep strategy question. See, I mean, on the one side, obviously, we're looking at Poco, and we try and figure out who are the people who will be interested in Poco. What price are they most comfortable with? So there are certain key price points that become important, and then we try and see that can a Poco phone meet that price. And of course, when you start building a product, it takes anywhere between 8-9 months to almost a year from the time you think about it to actually launching it. We do try and time certain phones. So for example, obviously in the last 2 months, you saw us kind of upgrading the overall portfolio. This is largely because of the Diwali part that is coming in. Diwali is an important time. The other important time, I would say, I don't know how this is going to be now, but used to be summer holidays. So just after exams are done, when you have those holidays, that used to be a key time period as well.
True. So just to add on to that, right? I mean, till now as Poco, we have been trying to kind of started with Poco F1 and then we started entering other price segments. I think we'll of course have to kind of relook at our plans as we progress further. But till now, the place where we were, right? I think Anuj made exact proper statement saying, looking at the price point, whether Poco phone can exist in that segment. Now going forward, what we will do, of course, only time will tell.
Yeah.
Next to the next question. Suresh is asking, Poco F2 Pro launch date. I think Redmi K30 Ultra is rebranding as Poco F2 Pro, right? Question mark.
Who's this?
Suresh.
Okay, Suresh, we probably have a bet and see if that happens or not.
And you know who will win. Cool. The next question is from Dipankar. Please pick question at least this time. So we have picked your question. Okay, this is interesting and a little funny. Who amongst Sir Anuj and Sir Mancho is better at trolling the competition real brand? And I mean, who is giving knowledge transfer sessions to who?
See, I am new in Poco. So obviously if there has to be a knowledge transfer, it has to be Mancho.
But see, I have been in the industry lower than Anuj. So if there has to be knowledge transfer, then who should it be from? Cool.
Actually, sometimes it's very hard to stay away from stuff, because if a brand is launching 20 phones in 9 months, it is very easy to make fun of. We try and avoid doing that as much as possible.
But all of this is primarily dedicated towards one thing, as to what Poco is trying to offer. I think that is something which we would want to kind of elaborate.
Yeah, so sometimes we obviously do a lot of jest, and it's basically light humor.
True.
But as the whole idea, of course, is to communicate what is right
for the end customer,
for the consumer.
Yeah. The next question is from Kiran. Hey Anuj and Mancho, as of today there is too much competition in smartphone market. So what is Poco gonna do more in the coming days to keep up with the competition and be in the top place as it is now?
So just to keep up with the competition, if the competition is launching 20 phones, I think we should launch 40.
Okay, that was sarcasm of Anuj. Please bear with that.
No. See, essentially, we've kept it really small. We've kept a very small portfolio. We are looking at the key price points. We're not doing everything, and I think this is something that we spoke about last week also. Keeping it cleaner, keeping it simpler, making it easy for consumers to choose. In the long run, I think is a better Poco strategy at least. I can't comment on what the other brands are doing, but at least from our perspective, we will continue to focus on the key segments, and of course try and bring our philosophy, that's everything you need, nothing you don't, onto each of those products. We might not be able to hit it 100% of the time, but as close as possible to that.
Yeah. I think there is one more point which I remember, Anuj, you only mentioned to me a long time as well. I mean, it's not just enough to kind of launch a phone and then forget about it. How are we keeping the phone relevant for longer periods of time? That is extremely critical. I think at Poco we are at least endeavoring or kind of trying out our level best to kind of keep the phone relevant for longer period of time. In fact, Poco F1, the MIUI 12 update is already out. Of course, it's coming out in stages, but the idea is we will kind of continue doing this to ensure that.
So Poco F1 launched before. I mean, at that time I was used to work for Razer in Singapore.
Yeah.
What was that launched on, MIUI?
That was on MIUI 9.
MIUI 9.
Yeah, MIUI 9.
So you've done 9, 10, 11, and
12.
now 12 is rolling
I,
out.
it was in the midst of the transition, right? 9 to 10. So as soon as we launched, immediately we moved to 10. There was like very small set of phones with MIUI 9, but immediately we moved to MIUI 10. So maybe we can just call it 3 updates: MIUI 10, 11, and 12.
10, 11, 12.
So yeah, we will continue doing that as much as possible, and which is given the shortage in resources or resource constraint environment, we will try our level best to kind of keep the phones updated. The next one is from Anurag Saha. Hello Anuj and Manchu sir, you two are my inspiration. I am going to buy Poco M2 Pro in this sale. My question is, why did you not bring the 128GB variant of this mobile? We do have a 128GB.
Yeah, so Poco M2 Pro is having a 128GB variant, and in fact, if you're buying it during sale, it is getting an offer. Both from a price perspective and if you're using a bank offer as well. So the pricing actually becomes phenomenal for this particular phone.
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, thank you so much for considering Poco M2 Pro. I'm sure you guys will love it. The next question is from Vivek. Hello Anuj and Manmohan. As Poco is done with the mobile phone launches, brackets we never know, for 2020, we would love to have some accessories by Poco like power banks, earbuds and so on in this year itself. So can we expect Poco India to launch new accessories in India this year?
So can't comment on if we'll be able to meet this year. We are working on a few, but not too many. So we are not going to blindly do something that we've seen a couple of other brands do in the recent past. It'll have to be obviously one very relevant, and second, does it meet the Poco philosophy and quality?
Yeah. The next question is from Partha Saradi. In Twitter, I noticed one video in your channel. In that, you teased about Poco F2. Could you give a clarity on this?
I think I would like to leave it as a teaser only. Let's see where that heads.
Yeah. Akshat, will Poco TWS come this year or next year? Will it have additional app to customize its audio, etc.? And I would like to get an official skin for Poco X3. Don't read this, you must go for the Samsung Buds Live design. It is very ergonomic and easy on the earphones, unlike in the ear types. Okay, so two questions. First of all, when will Poco TWS launch? Two, they also want an app to customize the audio settings. They ask for a skin, and they kind of mentioned another product, Samsung Buds Live, the bean-shaped one, the bean-shaped design. They said that that could be something which we can consider for our Poco TWS.
Okay, I don't know actually. So I've not really tried the beans. They're not called beans, right?
They are not. They are bean-shaped, but yeah.
I mean, I think everyone was calling them beans. Beans is such a good name. I don't know why they're not using it. I've not tried beans, so I don't know how it fits, and essentially how it will hold in India with sweaty conditions and of course moving around, things like that. So we'll have to see, obviously. Using an app to customize, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one.
We'll probably have to see if we can kind of meet that. About the timeline, I think we probably will not be.
Not this year, probably. Official skins for Poco X3.
Official skins, or I think some of our partners would be supporting.
Yes,
right?
they do.
Some of our partners support this, but considering that we cannot make skins, it does not make sense for us to add and act like a middleman right now.
Yeah.
Just to basically stock and resell, we'll have to add a margin on top of this. You can just go straight to partners and probably buy it from there. I don't know if we've got a curated list somewhere.
We can actually put that link down in the.
So you can put that list down in the description.
Okay, and then we have one more question, the last question. Om Shingni, when will Poco launch its TV?
Again, see, TV is a serious business. We do not want to just go pick up a random TV, call it as some random PLED technology or something like that, and try and kind of pass it off. I think TV obviously the TV itself and how it looks and what it offers is important, The second part is the software bit and how is it kind of curating your content and everything else. I remember talking to one of the journalists last year who was saying that software doesn't really matter on TV. Look at Google's Android TV, and it's just basically apps. And then recently Google launched the Google TV.
Google TV,
right?
yeah.
Google TV Stick, and they've changed their interface to show content. That means they are also learning.
True.
So one obviously to that journalist who was saying that plain Android is the best one. Sorry, even Google does not agree with you. But the second one is when we are bringing Poco, then we'll have to get that whole everything you need philosophy onto the TV as well, and this is going to take a lot more time, right? It's very easy to go TV shopping and just essentially they're called ODMs. You pick up a phone from a TV from an ODM, you put Poco there and we'll sell it, but you probably don't want to do that right away.
Not just that, Anuj, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you are buying a TV, it's a family purchase at the end of the day. You would want to experience the TV before you purchase it. So that is also one more thing we have to be cognizant of. I mean, of course, we don't need to be present everywhere, but at least people might want to experience the TV before they purchase.
Absolutely. And for that, I think we will have to have some kind of a presence in offline. And we spoke about how offline is a little tough.
Yeah.
But considering that getting a category like this takes a long time, I think a year to a few years of planning. If you guys think that there's something that a Poco TV should offer, and just don't say OLED panel, right? Think of how you use a TV and what would you like to see in improvement from a TV perspective, and do kind of put those comments in. We'd love to take your inputs.
True.
If your comments are good enough, and when we do get to TVs, I'd love to kind of call you into a smaller group to understand a bit more.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah,
that's all from our side. Thank you so much.
That's all this week. We'll see you next week then.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks.